Okay, what do we do for an April Fool's video? What do we do? Oh yes, everyone loves archetypes. Yeah, archetypes, yes. So, did you know, we talk about like Jagans, Cains, Abels, Mathises, Micaiahs, Meladiuses. Yeah. Did you know that Legalt is an archetype? Because Legalt is a thief that runs away from you that you have to recruit, and Renek is a thief that runs away from you that you have to recruit, and also Kath is a thief that runs away from you that you have to recruit. I guess we should call this the Kath archetype because she came first, but we can call it the Legalt archetype because that's the one everyone actually knows, right? Doesn't actually matter. Sita. Sita should be an archetype. Sita is a princess who recruits a lot of other units to your army, just like Lilina is a princess who recruits a lot of units to your army. Yeah, we're making new archetypes all over the place. Okay. How about this one? How about this one? Chris is an archetype, but not the archetype you think of, because Chris shares an archetype with Faye and Conrad. What's the archetype? Well, obviously, it's the archetype for new OCs that are put in remakes that make players complain that they even exist. Yeah, I guess Mathis isn't an archetype. We should make him one. How about Mathis is a pink-haired bad unit in a class line that you already have better units for. So that makes Wendy Mathis. Okay, agree? Everyone like that idea? Sounds great. Sounds great. I actually kind of like that. How about Riss? Riss is an archetype for units that exist and then stop existing and then exist again in their future remakes. So, Daros is a Riss, and Jake and Beck are Risses. Jake is a Riss. And what is this? I went to the wrong page. Pokemon is not a Riss. Beck is a Riss. How about that? How about that? That sounds pretty good. So I asked my community to come up with some more archetypes, and they found some pretty good ones. Mathis archetype, edit on the Mathis archetype, by the way. Mathis is not just pink-haired, but Mathis is specifically someone who attacks their own family members. Or people who are basically family. So, like, Abel is a Mathis because he attacks Est. Joshua is a Mathis because he attacks Natasha. Apparently in the Japanese version they have some relation. Sure, let's go with that. Takumi is a Mathis because he fights against Korin, who's totally his blood relative. That makes sense. Takumi's just a Mathis, guys. That's the archetype that we set up for. Castor. We don't talk about Castor enough. Castor's a pretty good unit. Castor should be an archetype. Let's say the Castor archetype is the second archer that you get that has better strength than the first archer you get, because you didn't level up the first archer you get. So, not Dorothea, Dorothy. Dorothy is a caster archetype, and Sin is a caster archetype because Sin has better strength than Sue. Even though they're nomads, they're still casters. Will is a caster archetype if you didn't do Lin mode, but if you did, then Rebecca's the caster to Will. That sounds great. That sounds like a great archetype we can have. Everyone loves Marty. Everyone loves a Marty party. We should make a Marty archetype. How about the Brigand that is, traditionally not, like, I don't know. He looks ugly for a unit, I guess. I don't agree with that. That's someone else's suggestion. But Gonzalez as a recruitable brigand is a Marty archetype. Yeah, let's go with that. I can't spell. That's an archetype. Percival. Percival's a great unit. He should be an archetype. But we can't just call him an Astrum or a Midia or something, because he's so much better than them. How about Kagetsu is a Percival because he's a pre-promote that is just far and away the best physical combat unit in their game, and only haters don't use Kagetsu, just like only haters don't use Percival and think he's great. So good friend of the channel, Danny, says, don't forget the Boars archetype. Really sexy unit. That's the problem. We can't really have a Boars archetype because there's only one Boars. Many have tried, all have failed. There's only ever been one Boars. There will only ever be one Boars. So we physically can't have a Boars archetype. Here's a really good one, though. And one that I wanted to talk about a little bit is, like, who's Leo? Is this Leo? Or is this Leo? Or is this Leo? How about... Is this Leo or Leon? Or is this Leon? Who's the real Leo? Who's the real Leon? Lion King. Kanigas, maybe? Is Kanigas the Lion King? Or is Eldigan the Lion King? Because Eldigan has that chapter that's titled, King, Lionheart. King of Lions, Lionheart. But is this the Lion King? Is it Leon? Is it Leo? Is it Lion? Is it Lion? That seems like a pretty good archetype. Let's just call them all Lions. That sounds great. That sounds fantastic. Okay, maybe for a slightly more reasonable archetype, let's say that... one last one. There was one that was pretty good. Here, let me see. Barst is the axe unit with good growths archetype, but... No, not Board. Cord is the axe unit with good magic growths archetype, because if you reclass him specifically to a dark mage, he has 30% magic growth. Meanwhile, if you reclass Barst to a dark mage, he only has a 20% magic growth. So because of that, Anna in Engage is a Cord, because Anna has a much higher magic growth than other units if you reclass her to a mage. Sure, that sounds fine. That sounds good. Everyone can agree with that, right? These are totally the archetypes that we need in Fire Emblem. If you can't tell, this is an April Fool's Day video. Thank you so much for watching. I honestly don't believe that most of these archetypes should be real, but this is kind of a response to a video that Mecha made and a response to some other videos of archetypes kind of go crazy in Fire Emblem. I do have another video coming out later today on a talk about actual archetypes in Fire Emblem, where I just kind of go through all the archetypes and just say which ones make any amount of sense and which ones don't. These are the archetypes from the fandom wiki, not from this wiki. But yeah, stay tuned for that. Till next time, happy April Fools. These archetypes all suck. See you next time. This is Mithril Zenith signing out.